Not every opportunity comes twice, but on the rare occasion that it does, you shouldn't miss it. Not long ago, an opportunity emerged. A prime piece of real estate located directly behind Zion Ministry. People saw the location. They saw the potential. They believed in the vision. And one by one plots were taken, until there was nothing left. Shalom Park 1.0 was officially sold out. While our clients were investing, we were doing something equally important: building trust within the community, building a strong relationship with the community leader, and ensuring that every investment comes with the confidence and peace of mind our clients deserve. And now something very rare is happening. The opportunity has returned. Introducing Shalom Park 2.0. This is your second chance. A fully fenced estate. Instant allocation. Strategically located behind Zion Ministry permanent site. And if you missed the first opportunity, you cannot afford to be among those who would miss this opportunity again. Not every opportunity comes twice, but on the rare occasion that it does, you shouldn't miss it. Not long ago, an opportunity emerged. A prime piece of real estate located directly behind Zion Ministry. People saw the location. They saw the potential. They believed in the vision. And one by one plots were taken, until there was nothing left. Shalom Park 1.0 was officially sold out. While our clients were investing, we were doing something equally important: building trust within the community, building a strong relationship with the community leader, and ensuring that every investment comes with the confidence and peace of mind our clients deserve. And now something very rare is happening. The opportunity has returned. Introducing Shalom Park 2.0. This is your second chance. A fully fenced estate. Instant allocation. Strategically located behind Zion Ministry permanent site. And if you missed the first opportunity, you cannot afford to be among those who would miss this opportunity again.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Overflow Mindshift section with Benedict Obiajulu. I'm always so happy and excited to have you here every Tuesday evening. It's always mind-blowing. Every Tuesday, I am certain that my mindset is going to shift from what I know to what I don't know, so I can keep closing deals, making sales, making more positive moves in getting bigger every day. I am so excited, and today again, something massive is already coming your way, and I am really happy to be here. Thank you everyone for always joining us. Mr. Joe from Asaba, he's already live. Please, if you're watching us, just write your name and where you're watching us from the comments on the comment section, so that we can recognize you very easily. And also, don't forget to share this to your friends. It is really important because wealth is built in community, and it is important that you don't hoard this information. So keep sharing it, post it everywhere, post the link on your status. And if there's any episode you know you have missed, please don't forget to visit our page and watch them. It's always there for you, so that you can keep getting the knowledge over and over and over again. I am really happy to be here, and without wasting much of your time, there's something amazing about what we do here. Time is very important, and our guest is already ready. Immediately, it was 8 o'clock on the dot, he was here, and I'm really happy and excited to welcome him, because it would be wrong on my part to keep wasting your time. So without wasting much of our time, please let's welcome Mr. Benedict Obiajulu. Good evening, sir. It's always so amazing to have you here. Welcome on board.
Good evening, Mike. It's a beautiful evening. And how are you doing today?
Good evening, sir. Welcome. Okay, I'm very well, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to have an amazing section. And okay, is our people here? I can't see them. Okay, good evening, everyone. And thank you, Mike. It's been a while. I've been on this on this call, and it's nice to be here today. And I hope we are able to enjoy ourselves and we're able to share some thoughts that will help us drive progress. And then what is progress? Progress is being able to put a step ahead of where we are. It's being able to get what we are seeking currently. So everybody makes progress, but it depends. Are you making progress at the right tools? Are you making progress at some progress most times are not visible? And that's one of the things we're coming to talk about today. So welcome everyone, right? Most progresses are not visible. Right? Before you see visible progress, a lot of invisible things have been done. Maybe before you see someone, he becomes a doctor. He has done a lot of study at the background. When you plant your seed, and before that corn grows, before that bamboo tree grows, before that plant grows, a lot of roots has gone, and those roots going in is progress. So today we're talking about something we've always heard of it, but I want to put it through us. So there's this book we call Think and Grow Rich. And chapter 9 of this book talks about an important concept. And that concept is who can guess about the concept without typing much, right? And there's a lot of laws there. There are 13 laws, 13 chapters in the book, right? And one of them is persistence. Chapter 9 talks about persistence. So before I go into the call, how many of us are here currently, and hope we able to learn, we're able to share the links, we're able to bring up our persons here, because the beauty of life is that growth is internal, is internal before it becomes physical. Okay. So remember, wealth is created in communities. Your job is to share the link, and then bring in more persons that could learn. They could come in as allies, they could come in as investors. What we're sharing is lifelong, whether you're selling properties, whether you're doing anything. And today we're talking about persistence, the sustained effort necessary to use faith. Now, I've introduced another concept that we are very close about. So, I've just defined persistence as sustained effort necessary to use faith. And then, what is faith? I would say faith is the currency when you are dealing with infinite intelligence, when you're dealing with God, when you're dealing with the superior power, when you're dealing with something ahead. Oh, I have faith that one day I will be able to um, build a house of 21 stories, right? And you could have faith that you want to do something like that. A child that enters the university that wants to become a medical doctor has faith that if he follows the process, someday he will graduate. So he enters the first medical class, and they give him all these medical terminologies, and his head is doing kick. He doesn't understand it, but somehow he has faith, right? I remember I used to be a trader, right? A digital trader, and when they talk about the trading terminologies, the RSIs, the MACDs, and then the moving averages, the emotional and the simple moving averages and the exponential moving averages, things like that, and the Bollinger Bands. And my head is like, is it possible that somebody can understand this? They say oversold, and they do, and but the one thing is, I stuck at it, and I said, oh, so how did I have faith to learn those things for 1 year, only teaching myself through the aid of the computer? It's because I had faith, because I've seen some persons online with an online community. That's why I talk about community. I had an online community on Twitter, and I've seen these young boys in different countries that understood this concept. So I had the inclination, I had the belief that, so I had this, I was able to persist. So what, and that was how faith comes. And funny enough, faith comes by repetition. That's why the Bible says faith cometh by hearing. And so today we're looking at persistence. Before that faith comes, what happens, right? So that is it. So invariably, the basis of persistence is what we call the will. The power of will, the power of will, your ability to will things, right? Your ability to will is a part of it's a faculty of the mind. We have 7 faculties of the human mind: the imagination, the will, and the rest of them, right? And then when we talk about the will, your will is, well, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. And why is it important? Because anywhere there is, according to, I can't remember the person that said that, but he said the obstacle is the way. Yes, the obstacle is the way. So meaning that once there is persistence, I have one quote said by my mentor that just like you always say things like I can't remember how he says, but he says things that if there is good in it, there will be distractions. There will be obstacles. If there is good, there will be obstacles. Meaning you have to show some level of persistence. So if there are no good in it, there will be no obstacles. So there will be no need for you to persist. It will be a cruise way. You get the point. So persistence, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. So you don't believe in something. So so how else do I define faith? So faith, the belief that what you are pursuing is possible. Right? I started by telling us my story to becoming a trader, right? Dealing with concepts that I've never heard about, right? Dealing with lines and price movements on the chat box and all that. But I had this belief that what I was pursuing was possible. So today, do you have belief that what you're pursuing is possible? That's what we're trying to discuss in the concept. So, which businessman are you going to talk about? So, the other day I had today I was scrolling through my phone and I saw um, Tony Elumelu giving an interview, right? Satoni giving an interview. And what was Satoni giving an interview on? He was giving the past chairman of UBA. I think he's currently Hess. He's chairman of Hess Holding, right? And they were asking him, how were you able to convince investors to come in while you were just 30 and you were trying to take over a bank? And you know what he said? There's a part of the interview I want to get to outside the question they asked him. The part of the interview where he was talking that when the business started having traction and people were able to see the result of what was on the table, that most of those investors that he has pitched to before, maybe 5 years before, 10 years before, that didn't invest, came and was telling him, you didn't convince us enough. You get the point? They were telling him, you would have convinced us, you didn't do a good job convincing us. So, meaning they were trying to say he wasn't persistent enough. That's what they were trying to say. They were trying to say, though they were, remember, there's nothing he would have done that would have brought all of them. Some of them discounted him because then he did not have any. But that too tells you about the act of persistence, meaning also that the things you are seeking are also seeking you. And if you don't persist, what happens? They will also be at that door looking at you, and they will know that this guy could have had this guy could have had this 10 million, this guy could have had this 10 million in 2026, that he could have used to make this investment that could have changed his life in 2046. But are you now getting it? Now, this is people's own confession. So you can go ahead and find that interview. I can't please, and you get what I'm saying. So it talks about willpower and desire. So when circumstances are giving you reasons to doubt, why persistence is important is once you're pursuing things, once you're going after the things that make your heart beat, and those things are noble and good, resistance must be on the way. Resistance must be on the way. So I would encourage us, right? And that is why most times when people become successful in whatever they are seeking, it's as if they are blessed and they are cold. Because whether it's raining, whether it's sunny, whether it's whatever the obstacle comes, they tend to keep hitting. They keep hitting. They keep hitting. And suddenly what? It opens. So faith grows by repeated action. Remember, I defined persistence as the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Right? And then I said, faith is the belief that what you are pursuing is possible. What you are pursuing is possible. And then I said, faith grows through repeated action. Through repeated action. So, like say you want to sell something, you want to sell a plot of land, and you talk to this person, you talk to this person, you talk to the act of talking to different persons, the act of talking to 10 persons makes you better, makes you grow faith. You're trading something, you're a digital nomad, you're trading, right? And then the act of taking consistent trade. Faith grows via repeated action. And faith is the currency. I say faith when we're dealing with God, when we're dealing with things that are above us, when we're dealing with infinite intelligence, when we're dealing with universal intelligence, right? We'll say faith is what? Faith is the currency. When you're dealing with man, your fellow man, we say trust is the currency. So it's important. It's deeply, deeply important for you to get this contact, okay? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, I had a thank you. I'm back. Network has okay. I had an interrupting call, but I've been able to to disband it. Okay, okay. So right, like I was saying, I said that faith grows through what? Repeated action. So how does this faith grow? How does so we had a faith grows by hearing, right? But now how do persistence it grows by repeated action, repeating action. So most people will ask, oh, if I'm doing one thing and I'm failing in it, should I continue in it? Now let's look at industries before I go into theory, right? Let's look at practicality because it helps communicate things better. Now let's pick an industry, the Cook brand, for instance. How many did they sell in their first year? How many did they sell in their? I can't remember how many bottles they sold in their first year. They sold very few. In their second year, in their fourth year, in their fifth year, in their sixth year, very few. Even till their 10th year. And then they had a lot of reasons to stop it, right? And then going forward, look around you. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Very well. I'm audible now. Then look around you. Look closely around you. Pick any world brand, whether if it's a world brand or a Nigerian brand. Okay. I just saw something now. So let's pick the GUO brand. I really don't know their story, but I've met them. Okay. Yes, I know the GUO story. I remember. Yes, yes, yes. I know the GUO story. So and how was the story? It has a story of clean cut persistence. After the war, he took a vehicle, and his father's Peugeot, old, maybe Peugeot or whatever, but those normal after the Nigerian Biafra war. And he picked it from his own testimony. I had him say that, right? So he picked the vehicle, moved to go and buy something in one market, or whether if he came from Enugu to Onitsha or something, and he noticed a lot of people were on the road, and he needed to transport them. And a lot of people begged him that we'll pay you, we'll pay you. He brought them to Onitsha, either from Onitsha to Enugu or from Enugu, but it was from point A to point B within the Igbo land, right? And he wanted to go to somewhere else with and that was how he thought, wow, business have shown. And then when he started it, it was not that smooth, right? But that was how he was able to scale and scale. So now, while we're talking about resistances, so pick this book we call what's the name again? Richest Man Think and Grow Rich, right? Chapter 9. So that's resistance, the sustain people necessary to produce faith. And one of the things you will notice is those little actions that you take, those little activities are the lacrine of what induces the faith. Those little activities. Now, most times when we don't achieve what we are set out to achieve, or how do you even why do people give up? Why do people not persist? Why do people not knock again and again on a door? Now, if you come to my house and you don't know if I'm around, so you don't know whether if what you seek is available, you will knock once and you will go. Right? Then you come to my house. Then you don't know if I want to see you. You will knock once or twice or three times. Then you know I'm around. You may now knock 4 or 5 times. Then you will go. Then you now start thinking maybe he doesn't want to see me. Then you come to my house and you know I really want to see you. And then you know that I am there. You will knock and knock and knock. And if peradventure the person doesn't open the door, you know what you will do? You will go and call people to please come on, let's break this door. Because you believe that what you're seeking is seeking. As subtle as that little example is, that is how persistence is. So if you believe but most times, how do you not believe that thing you're seeking is possible? That's what we want. So definiteness of purpose, not having something vague, a vague goal. You don't need a vague goal. How do I explain a vague goal? So a weak goal. According to Napoleon Hill, he will say something like fire will a small amount of wood will bring about a small amount of fire. He was trying to x-ray something like in terms of desire. That little desire would always produce what? Little push. So if you desire things intensely, you have a clear cut. This is what, not you want 1,000 things, right? So let's say someone wants something. Maybe it's you want a green biro. That's what you want. It's very clear. Not that you want a pen. You want a green biro. So you are so sure that this is what you want. So if somebody offers you a black biro, you say no. If somebody offers you a blue biro, you say no. Right? Somebody offers you a blue biro, you say no. Now, what does that tell you? There is definiteness, but most times you don't even know what you want. So you have a goal, but the goal is vague. Oh, I want to sell 10 plots. Oh, I want to have a good Christmas. Oh, I want to go on vacation. Oh, those are vague desires. Those are weak goals. It doesn't, there is nothing it cannot, how do I say that? So, but let's say someone says, I want to, you could send, let's say someone has these things in his mind, right? But It doesn't really burn. It doesn't burn. It's like weak fire. There is no ginger within you. The ginger must be internal. Remember, we started by talking about, for most of us that just joined us, we started by talking about how progress is made. The progress is first made internally before it is shown. Growth is first internal before it is shown. Nothing is ever built that was not built, whether if it's a house, right? In one of our projects, right? And we've been doing paperwork for God knows how long, man. Right? We've done this, we've done this, we've done this. And then, but those are the critical factors that makes the project rise, right? Those are the critical factors. And it's the same for progress. The main progress is internal. So, and one of them is definiteness of purpose. You must pursue one thing, one thing, one thing. One of my favorite books, it says, The Greatest Salesman of All Time. It has a line in it. And what does it say? It says that the man of multiple eyes cannot feed his family. The man of multiple means cannot feed his family. No, sorry. The man of multiple means cannot support himself. But the man of one means can support his family. You get the point. So now, but this draws down to purpose. That's what it was. It's not a story for you to just craft that line. It was talking about purpose, having been able to have singular eye, able to have singular focus. Oh, you're not interested in selling 10 plots, right? As funny as it is, you could just be interested in earning 10 million naira this month. You could just be interested in earning 10 million naira every month to the end of the year. You could just be interested in earning 1 million. So whether you sell one plot or two plots or three plots, it doesn't, because you could sell one plot and earn 10 million. You could sell 10 plots and still earn 1 million, depending on where it is. Does that make sense? It's important. So you have to be very clear. You can't say, oh, I want to have a Christmas vacation. Yes, you can have vacation at the back of you can even go for picnic, right? You could have your vacation in the back. You could have your vacation in Abuja. You could have your vacation in Kenya. You could have your vacation in South Africa, right? In Kenya, you don't need visa. In South Africa, you need visa. You could have your vacation in London. You need visa. So you have to be. So there are different ways. Right? So that could be where you want to have your Christmas holiday. Different ways. So you have to be clear. So weak goals, weak persistence, have something to fight for. That's clean cut. So number two, definiteness of plans. What plans do you have to get there? Definiteness of plans. So you measure yourself by activities that produce results, not by results. I repeat, you measure yourself by the activities that produce results. It could be making a call. It could be going to see somebody early in the morning that will shock the person. Yes. It could be seeing the person late at night. I remember when I had a negotiation time and I showed up very early in the person's house, and the person asked me, "Did you not sleep?" And the person I asked him, "When this day is pending, how do you expect me to sleep well?" But I had a nice sleep. I just planned that I would be there by 6:30. Okay. Now, so what is the definiteness of your plan? Now, so if there's a purpose, now you know the plans can change, but at least, because even if the plan changes, which is constant, the plans will change, but at least you have a plan. I will do this because it's that plan that will not make you to know that, oh, it is possible. If somebody tells you, oh, I want to see you in London next tomorrow, and if you have a 10-year UK visa, right? And someone tells you he wants to see you in London next tomorrow, you are not fidgeting because you already have a visa, right? Then secondly, another person tells you, I want to see you in London next tomorrow. And you tell the person yes. And after, when you drop the phone, because you don't have plan, before you finish applying for visa, going for interview, not interview, what do they call it? Screening, right? For UK, for good to do your biometrics, right? Before you go and do your biometrics and come out, the 1 week, so you can't even build on it. There is nothing to be fit about it. So that's why plans are important. Plans are important. Whether the plan works or not, but it helps you to walk towards that goal. You're walking towards something, so you have a plan. So it's the plan that gives you the momentum to go, just like you go to work because you have a plan that at the end of this, that is why when you look at civil servants, that's why they go to work. Because they know if I show up here, if I show up at the end of the month, something will come out. Do you understand? That is it. They may not have planned to do anything, but the plan is that, I mean, in terms of productivity, in terms of delivering, right? They may not. So it's important. So that plan is what we talks about. Repeated action is growing their faith. Because if I came, they will pay me. The federal government will pay me. And when the person is old, they will not check what did he achieve for the civil service. They will pay him his pension. Yes. Right? And then he's planning for that what? For that pension. So that is important, right? So definiteness of plans. Measure yourself by activities that produce results. So you're seeking to make sales. Measure yourself by activities that produce sales. Oh, I went to street marketing today. Yes, I'm targeting 10 million this month. Or did I go for street marketing? Oh, did I make a post online? Did I speak to my diasporan clients? Did I wish my people happy new week? Those are the activities you measure yourself. Did I follow up on people? Did I give feedback? Did I talk to did you do city real estate? Did you go and take pictures of powerful edifices that are constructing in your in the community you're offering to the clients and show them, oh, you're operating in Asaba Metropolis, right? There is a new hotel, there is there is a conference that, and then you show up there and you use it and do your content. Remember our course by Jeff, right, on content marketing. So it's important, right? So that is it. So you measure yourself by activities that produce it. So why you measure yourself by that is those are the things that lead to the sale. Don't forget it. The third one. Then a mind tightly closed against negative suggestion. A mind tightly closed against negative suggestion, right? There's something we call okay, that's in the next one, but there's something we call the mastermind. Is intertwined, right? And because the mind is like soil, the mind is when you look at the parable of the sower, and he was talking about the mind of men. So when I tell you something, I sow a seed. That is, how does a doctor become a doctor? He goes, sits in a classroom. A lot of doctors come, they talk to him. After a while, 5 years has passed. The young boy that just entered as an undergraduate becomes a doctor. He has a friend that enters the same school with him at the same time. He sits under a lot of engineers that train him, and after 5 years, he becomes an engineer. So what really happened? What really happened is that they gave people access to their mind, right? Through the gates of their mind, their eyes, their ears, their mouth, and the rest of them. And then after 5 years, this guy, that these two friends, or they could be twins, right? That walked into the university at the same time, but they were listening to different people, became different things. The same way, when you open your mind, you open your ears, you open your eyes, you open the gates of your mind to these things. You know what happens, whether in terms of social media, in terms of any way, what happens? They tell you the economy is bastardized, real estate doesn't work, and the rest of that. You know what will happen? What will happen is that they will sow the seeds of doubt, and that engineer will no longer be an engineer. He will become a quack engineer. The medical doctor will no longer become a medical doctor. He will become a quack medical doctor. Do you get it? You get the analogy, right? So when somebody says this doesn't work, yeah, it doesn't work. Yes, we know it doesn't work, but we also know that people have built empires through it. We also know that anytime you see epis flying, if real estate does not work, we will not have the epis we have today. Yes, the epis in Nigeria, right? We won't have had it. If it doesn't work, we also know that the church, what's the name of the church? I can't remember, right? I talked about him the other time. We will not have that church today, right? And then a lot of other successful businesses that could have gone under when they had some bank issues and they were able, even if real estate doesn't work, our own Oga, the current chairman of First Bank, right, Femi Otedola, would have gone under, right, if real estate doesn't work. Because when he had a lot of loans that failed, what saved him was it? And then a dozen of other persons. All real estate's a scam, yes, we know. Do you get it? So that is it. So there will always be people saying real estate doesn't work, nobody has money, price is too high, you have tried enough. Yes, you have tried enough. But remember, nobody will clap for you till you win. The only people that will clap for you when you are not winning is family and loved ones. Outside them. Okay? So listening to advice, I'm not saying you should shut your ears against advice. No. Listen to advice, but never surrender your vision to somebody else's doubt. Always have that at the back of your mind. Listen to advice, but never surrender your vision. Never surrender your mind. You now meet a doctor that telling him, oh, in your 5 years, in your 7 years in the medical school, you know what happens? You cannot what do they say the only thing that cures people is they'll tell him is medical, what do they call it, sorry, they'll tell him is I can't remember, maybe it's herbs that cures, or you must go to church. If the person doesn't go to church and they pray for him, he will not be healed. Chemotherapy does not work, and he has spent his years. So we'll even believe in the administering the drug, we'll even believe in strengthening his work. So it's important you get this as clean as it is. Okay. Then there's something we call a friendly alliance. A friendly alliance. Number 4, a friendly alliance. If you forget anything, remember I said don't surrender your mind. Pick the advice, but don't surrender your mind. Don't surrender your vision, right, to someone else's doubt. Never. Because the only person that would doubt and it will start to work is when you doubt. Be foolish on the goals that you have set. Stubborn about the goals you have set. Be foolish about it. When you see superior counsel on a better path to follow, take it. It's not what. But someone telling you he's not providing any answer and he's telling you that all you have is nonsense, my brother. So they will not take the one you have. That one you have, that your vision, that your little vision is what you have. And remember life. God always provide a tree for man, but he will not provide the gem. Meaning he will provide the basics, which is for your ability to dream. I won't say more than that. So number 4 is a friendly alliance or mastermind. And what does that mean? A friendly alliance is that we say that wealth is created in community. And what do we mean? We basically mean a mastermind. People that agree that what you are saying is possible. People that agree that what you are seeking is possible. People that are on the same pathway with you. Have you not been to a group of places where people are saying, oh, you will donate 100,000, and then you leave that scheme of people and you go to another set of people and they say, we want to do something, and they're saying, oh, we'll bring 10,000. The same people, the same economy, the same Nigeria. No, sorry, different people, the same economy, the same Nigeria, but different class of persons, right? So some persons believe, then there are persons that just believe that, oh, these things are not possible. A mastermind. What is a mastermind? A mastermind is a group of persons that believe in one vision, that have one goal, they have one, they are forming, right? And once a mastermind breaks, that's why I would always make the joke of group of companies, right? Okay, let me tell us something about our current president, right? Love him or hate him, right? But this what Osibanjo said about him before he even became president, why Osibanjo was the president. So I saw that. And Osibanjo said, um, that's Professor Osibanjo, right? Professor Yemi Osibanjo said that the president, sorry, he was calling him Asiwaju then because was Asiwaju. Sorry, he was not yet president. So it was in the, you can find it. He made that statement on the colleague on the Asiwaju colleague or what, I can't remember what they call it, but it's an anniversary to celebrate Asiwaju. And he said that there was something they liked about him. And he was talking about a mastermind indirectly without calling it a mastermind. He said that every time, so he called Cardoso, I think he's the current Minister of Finance, I think, or he's in charge of CBN, I can't remember. But he called the name Cardoso and called him, and there were some other persons he talked that they were in the same room with him, with Bat, when Bat was the governor of Lagos State, and they were having argument on how they would do on either land use charge. I see. And the current president, that's the then governor of Lagos State, had his own idea. This was the idea he was pushing, that they should charge something or something. And they were telling him no. And remember, he could do it without them. Remember that. He is the governor. He's the executive governor. He's the one the people voted for. He's the one that will sign it, right? But so invariably, he was saying that he was able to do. So while they were doing, he was already getting angry, but he stormed out of the room. They were in a guest house, according to him. He stormed out of the room and went somewhere, and then he came back. So when he came back, they noticed he came back with more facts to be able to get his argument for his mastermind to buy it. And funny enough, they bought him because he now had, so he went to read and come back. And funnily, right, and when the SEC persons, I followed them a lot. When the SEC current and the NGX currently went to meet the president last week, and he said something. He said, "Okay, I will continue to see what you guys are doing, and I'll continue to read." And what Professor Yemi said 3 years ago came into my mind. Oh, it's okay. He will read and find out what to do and find out how to do whatever he wants to do. But that's by the way. But get the point. That mastermind that he grew from 1999. Remember Professor Yemi Osibanjo, he may not have been a professor then. I don't know when he became a professor, so don't judge me by that. But that was in 1999 when he was deputy. Then what of Cardoso that he called his name? Then now, the Cardoso is either the CBN governor or he's in charge of I don't know, but is that the CBN governor or the Minister of Finance, right? And Professor Yemi had just finished his tenure as vice. But those were the bat mastermind. That's where I'm going. Do you get it? That's where I'm going. So a friendly alliance or mastermind. But there are people that will always believe something will not work. So why share your visions with people that are not in your mastermind? And why will you leave instead of you to have negative persons that will not accept? Don't have a mastermind. Don't have people that you will come to and say, "Oh, this is what we want to do. This is what I want to do," and they'll say, "Oh, it's too big. It's too no, 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 no. You don't need them." Oh, I have this goal. Oh, you want to sell 1 million. You want to earn 1 million naira monthly. You want to earn 10 million naira. Then you're taking someone that has not earned up to 500,000 monthly. You'll be looking at you as if your head is, how can you? He will tell you that you will jump and break your leg. That is what he will tell you. But on the same universe, right? There are people doing that in the same industry times 10 of it. So a friendly alliance or mastermind. Wealth will always be created in communities. Every other thing is pennies outside community. Take it. Wealth, it would always be created in communities. Every other thing will be pennies. Every other thing outside community. Right? Right? That is why big companies will always have board of directors. There will always be a board. They will either be in terms of advisory or a substantive board. How many companies are listed on the NGX? or listed anywhere in the world that do not have a substantive board. Find one. You will not find. I'm not even sure there's any company in Nigeria that is doing in excess of a 500 million naira that doesn't have a board. I am not sure. Even 100 billion, I'm not sure there is one. Okay, so that is it. And that board is a mastermind. So where is your own board? Where are those people that are on the same team with you that when you win, they win? Right? So that is so enemies of resistance. Do we get this? Right? I've talked about 4 things. I want to make sure that we are following, right? And I'm not spinning stories that are not productive, right? Yes, be the food to the goals you set, right? So a friendly alliance or mastermind. Wealth will always be created in communities. Then there are 5 enemies of persistence, and one of them is fear, indecision, procrastination, lack of desire. Remember when I said, if I'm coming to your house and I know you want me to come to your house, and I've called you, you've told me, oh, please come, and you're in the house, and I get to the house, and I knock, and you don't open the door, and I knock, you don't open the door, and then I call you again, maybe you're not picking, and I'm like, oh, hope this guy is okay, hope he's okay. Right? But if I called you and I'm not sure you want me to be in your house, I knock, and I don't see you, I will leave. Right? And that's indecision. Right? That's indecision. Fear, indecision, procrastination, lack of desire, not having something to live for. Desire comes by when the plan is clear. If I do it like this, do it like this, and do it like this, I will get this. If I talk to 10 persons, one will buy. The parable of the sower. If you cast it here, here, and here, one will enter. It's the same thing. Sowing and selling. That parable of the sower, I see it as a parable of the salesman. That if you cast it here, sow it here, and sow it here, that one client that will enter could bring his family. That one client could drop 100 million. That could enter could do 1 billion naira with you in 2 years or in 1 year. It's the parable of the sower. It's the parable of the sower. It's the parable of persistence, right? So there is a persistence formula, and I want to stop at that. And I would love to take questions. And what's the persistence formula? Desire, having a clear-cut desire, definite. This is what I want. I don't want pen. Get me a green pen. Definite, right? Right? Definiteness of purpose, singularity of purpose, right? Having a plan. Tell you, having a plan. You can plan to go to Lagos with car, right? And then something happens, you fly. But at least you had a plan early in the morning. And it has happened to me severally. I had a plan of going back more than 10 years ago to come back from where? To come back from Lagos, right? So I went to the what's it called? To the airport. They canceled my flight. And I needed to be in the university the next morning. More than what is 10 years? Far more than that. Right. And I needed to be in the university the next morning. And you know what happened? I took the night bus. But early in the morning, I was in the school because there was no flight again that night. So I had a plan. So and I was working, but if I didn't have a plan, I would still be in my hotel room and be moping. So have a plan, right? Even when the plan changes, the plan will motivate you. It will help kill procrastination. So desire will lead to action, and action will lead to repetition, and repetition will lead to faith, and faith will lead to results. That is the persistence formula. Desire leading to action, action leading to repetition, repetition leading to faith, and faith leading to what? Leading to results, right? Okay, somebody says enemies of persistence. Yes, one is fear, indecision, procrastination, and lack of desire. Lack of desire. Yes, it's 4. Sorry if I said 5. It's 4. Right. So desire would. So if you have something and you feel you're not taking action, you're not. This is my goal. This is what I want to do. Persistence, desire. One of the ways you reinforce your desire is to see it. That's why I would always encourage us. Put your goal somewhere that you can see it. Be a fool to your goals. Putting a desire to your goals. Be a fool to it, right? Be a fool. Be a fool to it. You could make up yourself, take pictures, right? When they tell you dress like your miracle in church, they're trying to tell you to be a fool to that your goal. But constantly you should know, because it drives persistence. You could go use AI. Thank God with the concept of AI. See yourself in Johannesburg, right? And design it. Put yourself in front of that place and paste it somewhere. Oh, you took your mom or your dad on a medical trip and you were able to pay for it and they're okay and you've been able to elongate their life 10, 15 years. Do it, right? And then, because you never know the seeds you sow today that will bring the power that you seek tomorrow. So I would like to take questions, right? And remember, I said I would like you to go through this book called Think and Grow Rich, chapter 9, and it's called Persistence, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. That's what we looked about, right? And it's important you go through it, because according to the book, it says that a state of mind, that persistence is a state of mind, and all state of mind can be cultivated. Persistence is a state of mind, and all state of mind can be cultivated. Because when you shy away at little things, you will shy away at big things. And sometimes you don't know the little things that will lead to the big things, right? If you're used to giving up, every time you will give up, right? So fortune gravitates to people whose minds are prepared to attract them, just as surely as water gravitates to the ocean. So when you become persistent, eh, things will gravitate towards you. Just when they come, you will follow up on them till you achieve it. So please, if you have questions, I would like to take it. If not, I would call it a day. And I hope we've been able to learn something. I hope we've been able to learn something. I hope we've been able to learn something. I hope we have been able to learn something. Yes, faith grows through repeated action. Faith grows through repeated action. Okay. Do we have any questions? If we have questions, I would like us to drop it on the comment section. If there is none, we would call it a beautiful day. And women, right? Do we have any questions? I'm watching the chat box to know if there are questions, because most times we're almost admonished to have faith, but faith comes through persistence, comes through taking actions that, and then sometimes we have goals, and then when we have this goal, and because most times goals are to grow us, right? Goals are to grow us. If you set a goal of what you know or you know how to achieve, it is not a goal. Like, so let's say I set a goal to go to London. I know how to get to London. I know how to achieve it. I want to do. It's not a goal for me, right? But let's say I set a goal like, oh, I want to be on a ship for 1 full year, and then come back and have be able not to have my sources of income destroyed, right? So then I now say, okay, I will give myself 3 years to prepare for it. So I don't know how it's done. So I have to go and meet someone that has done it. I have to go and seek some. Okay, how did you do this? How did you do? Right. So that's the importance of goal. Clean. It must stretch you. It must get you. Okay. Yes, fortune gravitates to those whose mind are made up to attract them, just as water gravitates through the ocean. If there's water in the water, would always run towards the water and not far away from the water. Right. And that is how the persistent mind is the world. That is why anytime you see a very successful guy, successful, don't just discount him, especially when people like that meet the money themselves, not family handed them down that money. Even when family hands them down the money and they were able to sustain it and grow it a bit, oh, just know that you're dealing with people with tough skin, people that can persist in the form of danger, in the form of pain. It's a clear thought. So please, I would encourage, pick up this book, right? And then go through the chapter 9. With that said, Mike, I'm not getting any question. Okay. Is it all faith that leads to result? Can faith lead to faith? Okay, that's beautiful. Mike, you can come up, please. Okay, we'll have a question. It says, is all faith that leads to result? Can faith lead to faith? Now, not all faith will lead to result. Your background is noisy, Mike, please. Um, mute yourself, please. So it's not all faith that leads to result. Yes. Thank you. Because you could remember, that is why you could have a faith that you will fly yourself to London, sorry, to Abuja from Asaba, right? Or fly yourself from Lagos to, okay, no, let's say Lagos to Asaba. It's a close distance. And then you had faith that you fly yourself there because you have a meeting by 8 o'clock tomorrow. And then suddenly they cancel your flight. And you know what? You have changed your plan. The next car, you just hire a boat and tell the boat, on your marks, get me to Lagos because I have to be by meeting by 9. So the faith that the APC will operate or United will operate and all of them and Ibon Air disappoint, then you swerve. But what happens is you could have faith, you could do something, it could fail. That's reality. But what happens that what you take from it is that you become stronger, you become better. You now know, oh, okay, it failed. I didn't die. You will chin up and then you will go again. Then you have just known one way it will not work. Then you try. I just used a normal airpiece in a normal travel scenario. So you could have faith that, oh, the airline will operate. God, I thank you. This airline will operate. And it didn't operate. But you have changed your plan. That's why I say, but because of you had plan, you had faith to leave your house to go to the airport. Because you had plan. So now with all plan leads to faith. The type of faith you talk about is terms of things happening to you and the rest of them. Faith in that instance is most times when people resolve their life to faith, FATE, is when they did not have a plan. Most times, 90% of the time. Now, the person that went to the airport and now the plane did not fly, he rerouted because he had a very important meeting that he couldn't miss in Lagos, despite the risky roads, but he took it, right? And then what happens? Those are two class of human beings. Fate happened. Say Nigeria happened to him by him not flying that night and him taking road. You could say, oh, and Nigeria happened to him. That could be fate. But he was on the run. Accidents will happen. So people can call accidents accidents in terms of maybe the airline couldn't operate. And presently, I've been in a foreign land, and the last flight I've taken, and I call it, and I was happy. And in a foreign land, we're talking about airline, and you know what? I flew by 2 in the night. It was a local flight by 2 in the night, and that was a flight that was supposed to be by 2 in the afternoon. And I was supposed to leave that country the next day by. So I was flying to the capital. So I cannot imagine that kind of stuff, right? But my head was just popping. I cannot miss my flight. I cannot miss my flight. Not the local one, the one that will get me back to Nigeria. But that's the point, right? So fate happens, things can happen, errors can happen. That delaying the flight till that time of the night could happen, right? or till morning, it could happen. But 90% comes by people not taking action. But if you're constantly taking action, you're able to minimize external effects. Because remember, life is about how we respond 90% of the time. And how you respond is if you know fit will give you strength. If you don't have strength, will you respond? You will not. So faith is to give you the ginger to say yes. Okay, what happens to our faith? Just like we said, I think I will answer that question and I will go. What we said is this: what happens to our faith when we repeatedly act on what we believe, even when we don't see immediate results? When we started, we said that most progress comes internally. Most progress comes internally. So now, this Mike is, and I'm sure there was a time he didn't know anything about media. He didn't know how to set us up and give us this beautiful scenario we're enjoying. And then he had faith that a boy like him could sing like that. And today he's a man in the act and he knows how to do it. And maybe he was doing it and he was messing up. But at a point, you will not see result. Truth be told. In my trading journey, I traded for years and I lost money. And then after a while, and I was not seeing result, but I believe that one day I will see result. If you start real estate, the first year you're not supposed to make money. In all honesty, you're supposed to buy junk lands, scam lands, and the rest of that. And that's why sometimes most real estate companies watch their first 2 or 3 estates. They have issues with it. And whatever endeavor it is. So invariably, you have faith on it, but you know, when you keep persisting, when you keep knocking, according to the Bible, it says, knock and it shall be opened unto you. So you just keep working on that thing, but the progress is coming. The progress is, you're just not seeing it. Just like this, the plant that is growing down, the roots are taking shape, right? It's taking shape. It's taking shape. You are picking 1 or 2 things, but you yourself, you're not seeing it. The transformation is occurring. The things that gets you jittery. Maybe you are working on something, you are trying to become a better salesman or a better negotiator, and then suddenly, normally when people tell you, "Oh, I'm not going to buy," all your mood, it may take you 2 hours to repump. You know, you have to repump and then find another person to talk to. Then suddenly somebody tells you, "Oh, that place, I'm not buying it. It's out of town." But his budget is that place, that is his budget. But he wants to buy inside town with the budget of neighboring outskirts of the city. Then before, it may take you 3 hours to recover or one day. Now he says it in 1 hour or you have recovered. Before you know, he says it and you deflate him and see that as a sales objection in terms of sales process. And you are happy that he says it. Because when clients don't give you their objection, you cannot close. It's the objection that you use to sell them. And that is it. So progress is progress. Sometimes you are not seeing it, but it's internal. And the internal work is more powerful than the external work. With that, it's 9 o'clock, and I want to tell us that it's beautiful that we are here again. And we have a beautiful estate in Ngobala behind Ebuku Zion Ministries, right? And we are expanding our Shalom Park. We currently have an estate there, and then we expanded the Shalom Park into the 2.0. And beautifully, we have also fenced it. And the beautiful thing is instant allocation. We did the last one last year. We've done allocation on the first set, and then on this second one, we're opening it up to the public. And it's important that people take advantage of it. A lot of our diaspora persons will be watching and will be coming in. A lot of persons will be traveling to Ngobala to break the 3 days fast, the 100 days fast in very near to this our estate. So it's what we call point and collect. If it's fish guys, they will tell you it's point and kill because it has been plotted and that demarcated. And maybe we'll end with a commercial of it. Mike, what do you think? and so that we could see the videos, and we had to go meet the king and have more equitable distribution of that, so we could get more persons onto that our offer and grow wealth for a lot of Nigerians. So that's it, my people, and let's keep learning, let's keep growing. Victory is always available for the man that keeps seeking it. Thank you, everyone, and God bless us.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Benedict Obiajulu. I promised you that this Tuesday was going to be amazing. And yes, it's amazing. You have gotten everything that you needed to shift your mind from what you don't know to what you should know. Now, the next process is to put it into action, because it's in the action that you get the result, which is very important. Please do not forget to always post this on your social media platforms so that you can expand this knowledge to so many of your friends and family. Thank you so much again, Mr. Benedict Obiajulu. Thank you for all of you who have commented in one way or another. There are so many comments, I cannot just read all of them. So I do appreciate you all. And as he has spoken about our new estate, and please just enjoy it. Just after the show, you are going to see the commercial, and make sure you speak to your clients about it and close that deal. Thank you very much, everybody. I love you all so much. It's always amazing to be here and always to be with you through a Tuesday training process. And I would love to see more and more of you next week. So invite your friends, just share the link to them, and they will be so grateful to you that you gave them that opportunity. Thank you all.
Comes twice, but on the rare occasion that it does, you shouldn't miss it. Not long ago, an opportunity emerged, a prime piece of real estate located directly behind Zion Ministry. People saw the location, they saw the potential, they believed in the vision, and one by one plots were taken, until there was nothing left. Shalom Park 1.0 was officially sold out. While our clients were investing, we were doing something equally important: building trust within the community, building a strong relationship with the community leader, and ensuring that every investment comes with the confidence and peace of mind our clients deserve. And now something very rare is happening. The opportunity has returned. Introducing Shalom Park 2.0. This is your second chance. A fully fenced estate, instant allocation, strategically located behind Zion Ministry permanent site. And if you missed the first opportunity, you cannot afford to be among those who would miss this opportunity again.